Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a big one, SEO. We're going to demystify it and break down exactly how you can get your brilliant content in front of the people who are actually looking for it on Google. So, let's start with a feeling I'm sure many of you know. You pour all this time and energy into building a fantastic website. You finally hit that publish button, and then nothing. Just silence. It's super frustrating, right? But the good news is, it's a problem we can absolutely solve. And the solution is SEO. Now, it's not some kind of secret code or magic trick. Really, search engine optimization is just the process of making your site better so that search engines, like Google, can find it, understand what it's about, and then, most importantly, recommend it to the right people. But before we get into any of the nitty-gritty details, the code, the keywords, all that stuff, we have to start with the single most important rule. This is the big idea, the philosophy that guides everything else we're going to talk about. And here it is, straight from the source. Just think about it for a second. Google's entire business model is built on giving people the best, most helpful answers. So your goal shouldn't be to game the system. Your goal should be to create something genuinely useful for your audience. If you do that, you and Google are basically on the same team. This right here turns that whole philosophy into a really simple gut check. Are you asking the questions on the left? Does this actually help someone? Does this show real expertise? Or are you asking the questions on the right? Like, am I just writing this to get clicks? Or am I hitting some magic word count that doesn't even exist? The difference between these two mindsets is everything. Google actually boils this all down to three simple questions. Who created this? So be upfront about who you are. How was it made? Did you write this from real, first-hand experience, or are you just summarizing what other people said? And the most important one, why does this page exist? If the honest answer isn't to help people, then you might be on the wrong track. Okay, so you've got the people-first mindset down. You're creating genuinely helpful stuff. Awesome. But now, how does Google even know your website exists out there in the massive universe of the internet? Well, it's a pretty straightforward two-step process. First, these little automated programs called crawlers or bots zip around the web, following links from page to discover what's out there. Then, for step two, they take what they find, analyze it, and store it in this enormous digital library called an index. So when you search for something, Google isn't searching the whole internet in real time. It's just quickly looking through its own neatly organized library. So what does that mean for you? It means your job is to basically roll out the red carpet for those crawlers. You need to use standard links they can actually follow, give them a sitemap, which is literally a map of your website, and create really clear, descriptive URLs and page titles. Think of them like signposts guiding the way. And the great news is, you probably don't have to do all of this heavy lifting yourself. If you're using a modern web framework or a content management system, a lot of this essential technical stuff is just done for you, automatically. It sets you up for success right from the start. And here's a small detail that makes a huge difference: the text inside your links. We call it anchor text. Good anchor text is descriptive, like list of cheese types. It tells both the user and Google exactly what they're going to get. Bad anchor text, like click here, tells them absolutely nothing. It's such a wasted opportunity. All right, so Google has found your page. It's in their massive library. Now, for the million-dollar question. How does Google decide if your content deserves that top spot out of all the other competing pages? Well, its systems are looking for signals of something called EEAT. That stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So, experience. Have you actually done the thing you're talking about? Expertise. Do you really know your stuff? Authoritativeness. Are you a recognized source? And holding it all together is trust. That's the most important one. Can people actually rely on what you're saying? And this is not just some nice to have. For topics that Google calls your money or your life, we're talking about things like medical advice, financial planning, or safety tips. Demonstrating strong EAET is absolutely essential. The stakes are just too high, and Google's standards for this kind of content are understandably even higher. But it's not just about what you say. It's also about how it feels to be on your page. This is where something called Core Web Vitals comes in. Ask yourself, does your page load quickly? Can you interact with it right away? Or does the text jump around while images load in?
A fast, stable, and smooth website builds trust, and yeah, that's a huge signal for ranking.
Okay, that was a lot of information, I know. We covered the big picture philosophy and some of the technical stuff. So let's bring it all together into a simple, actionable checklist you can start using today. Here we go. 5 key steps. 1. Always put people first. 2. Get the on-page basics right. 3. Make sure your site is easy for Google to crawl. 4. Show off your experience and trustworthiness. And 5. Make sure your website is fast and easy to use. See the pattern here? It all comes back to the user. If you build a site that people love, search engines are going to love it too. And that brings us right back to where we started. At the end of the day, great SEO isn't about chasing some mysterious algorithm. It's about creating real, genuine value for other human beings. If you make that your North Star, the rankings will take care of themselves. So the most important question is the one right here. Who are you really building this for?